Welcome back to the grim darkness of the far future, where things can always get worse. In Warhammer 50,000, billions endure ceaseless toil and sacrifice. Life is short, brutal, and defined by duty. Today, we're diving even deeper into the Imperium's most dreadful occupations, where suffering is endless and hope is a distant memory. Documentary-style music sets the stage for our journey into horror, hardship, and unending labor. In the sprawling hive cities, where millions are packed into endless towers and labyrinthine streets, dignity and death is a luxury reserved for the privileged few. For most, the end of life is not marked by ceremony or remembrance, but by a final utilitarian purpose. The majority of citizens meet their fate as raw material, transformed into corpse starch, a gray, protein-rich paste that sustains the teeming masses. This industrial foodstuff is the backbone of survival, a grim necessity in a world where resources are scarce and hunger is ever present. Day and night, workers in respirators and stained uniforms herd bodies into vast rendering vats. The air is thick with the stench of chemicals and decay, a constant reminder of the cycle of life and death that powers the city. There is no reverence here, no pause for mourning, only relentless efficiency. Each body is processed with mechanical precision, becoming another meal for the endless throngs who depend on this grim sustenance. The psychological toll on the workers is immense. Every shift, they are reminded that one day, they too will be fed into the same machines, their existence reduced to a number on a production quota. Health hazards are everywhere. Biohazards, rampant disease, and malfunctioning machinery claim lives with alarming regularity. The threat of plague lingers in every shadow, and a single mistake can mean instant death. Supervisors patrol the factory floor, enforcing silence and relentless productivity with shock prods and harsh discipline. Any sign of hesitation or dissent is met with swift punishment. There are no holidays, no moments of respite, only the endless grinding cycle of consumption and production. Time blurs as workers labor through endless shifts, their lives consumed by the machine. For those who toil in the corpse starch processor, even death offers no escape from service. The line between worker and product is razor thin, and every absence is quickly filled. Yet the masses are fed. Civilization endures, its survival built on the sacrifice of the many, one body at a time, one meal after another, in a cycle that never ends. The true cost of this endurance is measured not just in bodies, but in the suffering etched into every exhausted face, every trembling hand, and every soul ground down by the relentless demands of survival. Nurgle's plagues are relentless, spreading like a living shadow through the depths of the Imperium's hive cities. The air itself becomes thick with rot, every surface slick with filth and disease. In these forsaken corridors, hope is a rare commodity, and the stench of decay is ever present. Only the desperate, the outcast, or those with nothing left to lose become plague sweepers. They are the Imperium's last line of defense against the creeping corruption, ordinary men and women pressed into extraordinary service by necessity and fear. Armed with crude flamers, battered chemical sprayers, and whatever protective gear they can scavenge, they descend into the heart of infection. Their mission is grim and thankless. Burn the corpses before they can rise again, scrub the walls of festering pustules, and purge every trace of Nurgle's taint from the steel bones of the city. They collect samples for the Magos biologists, hoping for a cure that never comes, always racing against the clock as the infection spreads faster than they can contain it. Every moment spent in the contaminated zones is a gamble with death. Many plague sweepers never return from their shifts. Those who do are marked by festering sores, hacking coughs, and a haunted look in their eyes. Isolation becomes their only companion, as even their families fear the invisible contagion they might carry home. Plague sweepers are shunned by the rest of society, forced to live behind barricades and receive their rations at arm's length. Supplies are scarce, and trust is even scarcer. They are segregated, watched by armed guards, and treated as pariahs for the very work that keeps the hive alive. The Emperor's prayers echo through the ruins, but faith offers little comfort when every breath could be your last. In the darkness, many whisper desperate pleas for deliverance, but the silence that answers is as cold as the steel around them. Without the plague sweepers, entire hive cities would fall to pestilence and chaos. Yet, gratitude is a rare luxury. Most citizens avert their eyes, unwilling to acknowledge the sacrifice made on their behalf. Nightmares haunt their sleep, and chemical stimulants become a crutch to keep them moving. Minds and bodies break down under the relentless strain, and the line between duty and madness blurs with each passing day. Yet every dawn, they march once more into the breach, flamers ignited, eyes steeled against the horrors that await. It is a never-ending battle against rot and despair. A war fought in the shadows for a victory that may never come. In the Imperium, survival is the only reward. There are no medals, no parades, only another day endured, another shift survived. The cost is measured in scars, both seen and unseen. The psychological wounds run deep, and hope is a fleeting thing. Many plague sweepers lose themselves to despair, their spirits as battered as their bodies. Still, the work continues, unthanked and unending. Day after day they return to the filth and the fear, driven by duty, desperation, or the faintest glimmer of hope that their sacrifice might matter. For the plague sweeper, every shift is a brush with oblivion, a silent struggle against the darkness waged in the name of a future they may never see. Servitor maintenance techs face one of the Imperium's most disturbing jobs. Servitors, once human, now lobotomized cyborgs, require constant, grisly upkeep. Techs repair torn flesh and malfunctioning augmetics in cold, echoing bays. Each servitor is a puzzle of pain and utility. Their vacant eyes a chilling reminder of lost humanity. Accidents are common. A loose servo can turn routine repairs deadly. Techs bear scars and the fear of being replaced by the very machines they maintain. Efficiency is demanded. Compassion is punished, and quotas rule all. The Adeptus Mechanicus ensures the machines of flesh keep running, no matter the human cost. Here, mercy is forgotten. Survival is its own grim reward. Ogryn handlers manage the Imperium's massive, genetically altered humans, living battering rams bred for brute strength. The Ogryn pens are chaotic, noisy, and dangerous. Handlers must use patience and authority to communicate, always alert for sudden violence. Accidents are inevitable. A careless Ogryn can crush a handler in an instant. Training is delicate. Rewards must be immediate. Punishments measured. Handlers walk a tightrope between affection and fear, bearing the marks of their profession. Living conditions are harsh. Vigilance is everything. Some handlers find camaraderie with their charges, who are childlike in their loyalty. Bonds are forged in hardship, but the threat of violence never fades. A single misstep can be fatal. For Ogryn handlers, every day is a test of nerve and adaptability. Deep in the hive's underbelly, far from the gleaming towers and bustling markets above, lies a world few dare to imagine. Here, in the labyrinthine tunnels and shadowy corridors, the waste reclaimers toil in near darkness, surrounded by the detritus of civilization. Waste reclaimers battle filth, with shovels, battered carts, and sheer determination. Their hands are calloused, their faces hidden behind stained masks, but their resolve is unbreakable. Every day they wade through mountains of refuse, fighting not just the stench, but the ever-present threat of disease and injury. They recycle the refuse of billions, transforming what others discard into the raw materials that keep the city alive. The endless streams of garbage never cease, and neither do the reclaimers. Extracting every usable resource from endless rivers of sludge, they work with tools that barely protect them. Protective gear is inadequate. Most wear patch suits and makeshift gloves, barely shielding them from the toxic brew that seeps into their skin. Chronic illness and infection are the norm. Hazardous materials, chemical spills, caustic fumes, and unknown substances are part of their daily reality. Many suffer from persistent coughs, rashes, and worse, but there is no respite. Radioactive debris and biohazards lurk in every pile, glowing faintly in the gloom. Accidents are common, and the cost is often paid in blood. When a worker falls, there is little time for mourning. The dead are quickly replaced by the desperate, those with nowhere else to go, drawn by the promise of a meager wage or simply the hope of survival. Reclaimers are shunned by society, seen as little more than shadows moving through the filth. Their presence is a reminder of the city's dependence on their labor, and so they are kept at arm's length, invisible to most. Their labor is unacknowledged but essential. Without them, the city would drown in its own waste, yet few ever pause to consider the hands that keep the streets clean and the lights burning. Despite the hardships, some take pride in salvaging machinery, piecing together broken parts to create something useful. In the chaos of the refuse, they find moments of ingenuity and resourcefulness. Their efforts keep the hive running, powering the city's infrastructure and ensuring that life above continues uninterrupted. In the filth, they find grim purpose. Hope is rare. Most dream of escape, of a life beyond the tunnels, but the path out is steep and slippery. Few ever rise above the muck. The weight of poverty and stigma keeps them anchored, their dreams fading with each passing day. Yet their work sustains the city, fueling its growth and prosperity. The energy and resources reclaimed from the waste power homes, factories, and the very heart of the metropolis. Even if no one cares to admit it, the city's survival depends on these unseen guardians. They are the silent backbone of civilization, their sacrifices hidden in plain sight. For most, the dream of a better life remains forever out of reach. Yet, in the darkness, a flicker of hope endures, a belief that one day, their toil will be recognized, and the cycle of filth and despair might finally be broken. For criminals and dissidents, penal legions offer a fate worse than execution: service as expendable soldiers. Stripped of rights and identities, legionnaires are herded into barracks, collars primed to explode at any sign of rebellion. Training is minimal, discipline is enforced with violence, and instant death. Deployment means certain death. Front lines against tyrannids, chaos, or orcs. Survival is a statistical improbability. Courage is manufactured by terror. Camaraderie is rare, betrayal common, and morale non-existent. Some find purpose in the crucible of war, but hope is a luxury few can afford. Redemption and annihilation walk hand in hand. Each battle is a desperate gamble in a universe without mercy. Deep within Imperial sanctums, Astropath choir attendants care for sanctioned psychers exposed to the horrors of the warp. Their work is vital and terrifying, feeding, cleaning, and comforting those whose minds are fraying. Choir chambers hum with psychic resonance, screams, and incoherent babble. Attendants must shield their minds or risk being swept away by madness. Even routine tasks carry the threat of psychic backlash or possession. Isolation is both curse and blessing. Attendants rely on each other for support. Bonds are forged in silence. Trust built on shared trauma. Nightmares, paranoia, and hallucinations are common. Few last more than a few years. To be an attendant is to walk the edge of madness, bearing witness to suffering, both others and your own. Replacement is constant, and the toll is immense. These are just a few of the worst jobs in Warhammer 50,000. In the Imperium, survival demands unimaginable hardship from countless souls. Let us know in the comments which job you think is the absolute worst, and subscribe for more grimdark content. Together we'll keep uncovering the hidden horrors of the far future, one tale of misery at a time.